Hi, guys. Thank you for introducing us. Um, well, the AP Dhillon tour was quite a unique experience, and it was thanks to everybody who made it extremely successful. So we're here to give you like a mini guide onto how to be different in this industry because everybody's doing so much unique things. But it's almost how we crack the code into breaking the monotony and creating something new. Ooh, sorry. Is it changing? Oh, there you go. So before we start with our formula and everybody starts taking notes, a little bit about us. Aman is obviously White Fox and I'm Studio Majime. So the key to this successful tour has been collaboration because we believe that when you bring together the greatest minds, one can create something unique. So I'm gonna talk you through the fun stuff, and then Aman's gonna talk you through the little more serious things. The first key to any success is to be delusional. What we think is impossible is just the failure of imagination. So you need to be crazy enough to believe that you can potentially do it. So how it started was, all right, we need to do a center stage. Infrastructure doesn't exist in India, what do you do? That's where delusion enters the chat room because one needs to believe they can do it. And once you break that mind frame of it's not possible, it's possible, everything else becomes easy. So in order for anything, you need to believe you can do it. And of course, it helps when you have a blank check from Aman Kumar. So it does help. So number one, please be delusional no matter what you do. Second, very important is design psychology. So design is not only about aesthetics, it's almost like your superpower because one can use design to create a movement. So when we created the center stage, it almost became India's first immersive 360 show that didn't necessarily exist. So what we had to do is we had to use design psychology to engage the audience. What tends to happen in a center stage, your audience becomes a very vital part of the performance. So not only are you designing aesthetically a stage that looks good without an infrastructure because you can't rig all your systems on the ceiling, you're technically taking everything ground up. So what you need to do is you need to first work on 3D sound designing, where you are engaging everybody from every corner. So technically everybody becomes a part of the show. So you don't walk away because you're too far from the stage. You almost become a part of the performance because the artist tends to engage further based on the audience reaction. So center stage and design psychology is key to a successful show. Don't take no for an answer. That's very important when I always say you need to have a woman on your team because we don't take no for an answer. So we know the art of convincing. So what happened when we had 3 cities, 3 different permissions that we needed to seek, and 3 different challenges. So permissions in each city is a task. So hence why we say don't take no, because we were dealing with people who were used to a very like a typical way of doing a show. It's a side stage, the audience enters from it. But here, when we said, Sir, hame center stage karna hai, he's like, nahi. We're like, kyun nahi? They're like, nahi ho sakta hai. But then we were like, all right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a 3D render. Never been done before. He's like, what's a 3D render? So each city, we went out of our way to make a 3D render, an animation, a sketch, a walkthrough, so that we could get permission granted. Which is why it's very important, whoever is hiring, please make sure there's a woman on a team because we don't like to hear no, okay? So once we hear no as an answer, it aggravates us. So we master the art of convincing. Collaboration is key. So one needs to forget your ego. We are not experts at everything. We love to believe we can do everything, but we're not. So one needs to put your ego at the back and understand that there are such talented people out there. And the key to become successful at anything that you do is to collaborate with people that know what they're doing. The minute you have an A team put together, an A team can change the destiny of your show. Keep your ego aside. Yes, blank checks are required in these moments, but also convincing to put that key team together is important. Expect the unexpected. So this is a very interesting formula we came up with, and I'll talk you through how we did each city. So what tends to happen is, because your consumer is the audience, yes, social media plays a vital key into luring people from one city to another because they've seen the impact of one city and they tend to be like, get FOMO. But the only thing that can differentiate you from city to city is to create something unexpected. So how we designed that was, each city, we came up with the concept of the mind, body, and soul. How do we engage people holistically? So we divided the mind being Mumbai, New Delhi being the body, and Chandigarh being the soul. This was our formula on how to create a maximum impact, whether it came to the audience, whether it came to social media, and whether it came to our marketing. So I'm going to show you city-wise how we did that. Mumbai, we targeted the mind. And by the mind, we meant this was India's first 360 stage. So we knew that this was going to be the first reveal. So we sort of targeted the mind first. The first element of surprise, India's first 360 stage. One cannot use the same elements in each marketing strategy because then it becomes monotonous. So what was our body? In Delhi, we decided to give everybody a shock factor by giving people the ability to witness 3 generations of brown Mundes on stage. And that was only exclusive to our Delhi show, yet it was a surprise. But it added that shock value that sort of broke the monotony from what Mumbai had, and also sort of gave respect to the industry. These are 3 individuals who have impacted the music industry, who've shaped people's perception of music. So our aim to target Delhi was to sort of give people an out-of-body experience, which I'm sure you've seen the reactions on social media. Soul. Soul being the hometown. Our brown Mundes are from Punjab. So Chandigarh, it had to be a home run. So we had to do something a little special in Punjab. You know, like Punjabis love to be pampered. So we gave them an unreleased song, you know, so they felt special. It's kind of like a city ego battle where everybody's like, Mera city mein ye hua. But then the Punjabis get to say, we got an unreleased song that nobody got. So in Punjab, because it had that soul factor, because you're connecting with your people, your key audience, our aim was to obviously give that, to which the song Afsos, people got to see it firsthand. So that is my little guide on how to break and create something new in the industry, shake the industry, and obviously set a new bar for competition. And I'm going to pass it on to Amin to have the serious conversations.
So I have the most boring part, the ticketing sales strategy. Obviously, a lot of people in this room already know how it's done, but obviously we had the whole idea behind it. The first thing which we had a lot of competition in terms of Karan Aujla had like 4 cities, 4 shows back to back in Delhi. Diljit sold out 2 shows, and we were like, how do we plug in another Punjabi artist, which is AP? So went to the war room, did some brainstorming. I said, let's just create the hype in advance. Yeah. So what we're going to give, what we are giving out to the customers. So that's what we did. So we created a hype in advance, and I would suggest that customers now, your target market is very prone to know what they are spending money on. So that's like a key factor now because the industry is growing. Can we go to the next one, please? So early bird is very, very important to attract that crowd. You need to create an urgency by having a few phases. That is super, super important, because when you have certain phases, then that creates an urgency when we are buying the ticket, right? And most important is do your research very, very well. That's what we did. So our challenge was, we knew we could not achieve like 50, 60,000 in numbers, but we could achieve achieve a break even or a profitability by increasing our ticket prices. And we touch wood achieved a ticket price which would an Ed Sheeran or some international artist would. So we did our market trends, studied market trend well, created the right equilibrium between pricing and the tickets also. That worked for us. So scanning through, we had tickets from 1,999 going up till 29,999. Let's go to the graphs after that. So if you see, we had them phased wise. So phase 2 and phase 4 where the major chunk of the money came. And then when you have very less quantity in your last phase, increase the ticket price, because that's where the FOMO comes in play. And that's when you can command your price and then achieve those kind of numbers. Ticket launch, very, very important. Go to your ticketing company, sit there, see what's going on, what trends are coming in play, so that you can go through that algorithm and change your ticketing pricing, quantity, everything based on how it's going. So we were there, we gave 45 minutes. We Touchwood was sold out in 45 minutes, but we gave each and every second, and those 45 minutes felt like 4.5 hours for us at that time. Limit purchase per person, very important, because resales happen a lot in our country. People bulk buy tickets and then they put it on the market. It just does not give a good impression. So we made sure that we had limited number of tickets. Add-ons, very, very important. People need goodie bags and everything. So we did an AP Dhillon kit, which was pretty much sold out. So that was worked for us.
I think one more point to add on is to what Aman is saying is that a lot of people feel that AI or the algorithm can be read through AI and then you can determine the next phase of your pricing. But what really worked for us was human monitoring, because we tend to understand how the consumer is reacting in each phase. So once you understand your consumer is something, because what AI doesn't do, AI doesn't understand the emotion. So what we saw first was all the premium tickets went out in Chandigarh first. Chandigarh, Delhi, and then Bombay took its time. So what we understood that obviously there's a massive demand when it came to the fan pits and the premiums. You have to understand the psyche of your audience per city. So that's very important, which was very critical to the ticket launch part.
And post sales, very important. We normally cash in the money and then we don't even talk about what we are doing. So we kept a majority of the budget, marketing budget, after the shows. Keep your people engaged, keep whoever is visiting engaged, tell them what's going to happen, keep them excited. This is a very, very key role, which normally I personally feel that people like us promoters forget when we talk about ticket sales. And data analysis, very important for your next shows. And that's pretty much the ticketing strategy. And you want to add something to it?
Yes, so before we show you guys an unreleased clip from a docuseries that we're putting out there, we'll show it to you, but then if you guys have questions, we're more than willing to answer. One needs to understand the key of any design story or any show is about taking every challenge and sort of not taking it as a challenge as a negative, but sort of making it into something positive. So while a lot of people have addressed the fact that India does have infrastructure problems, but what people don't understand that India does have a manpower that is ready to create something completely brand new for you. Which is why when we had to create something ground up, we worked with the best team to do that. So that is something that India has that where nobody else does have. So if infrastructure is a problem, be creative and make something. And that is the key to making our mark anywhere, is to actually use design from a functionality point of view rather than just an aesthetic point of view. So now...
one second, just also to add on, when we got our A team together, so we want 80% of those people were from the different fields. So like the video which Sarah's gonna show right now, the person who shot it had never done a concert before in his life. So that's what we did. We got the best people. Sara started a career as an interior designer, branding person, and then got into designing the stage. So it's very important to get fresh minds to have a different perspective to what your concert could be. So we can just
100%.
play the video.
I'm very new to this industry, so it's a great honor for me to be sitting in this and speaking, because the key is finding unique individuals. So now we're just going to play the video. I don't have a button for the video, so is it there? Why Bombay? Why not Bombay?
I mean,
is the
Bombay
question.
is the mecca of entertainment in India, so
City of dreams.
ऐसा crowd दिखेगा कि हर प्रकार के लोग हैं यहाँ पे. Y'all really got it fucked up right now.
because this is the first time something like this is ever being
So
used
it's an
in India.
immersive show, so everybody from each corner is actually part of your performance.
Y'all ain't seeing AP. Fuck out of here. Stupid.
Considering this is being done in India for the first time, it is a massive, massive game changer. As you can see, we've got all the VA, we've got 360 VA, which is being cantilevered out by 4 meters.
So
Thank you. So if you
Thank
guys
you.
have questions, amazing. Our first question. Can somebody hear me?
I have two questions.
Yes.
One for you. If the demand would not have generated, suppose all you have done, what you have done, and what do you do it for an independent artist? Like AP is the magnum opus. Suppose you have been given a task for a new independent artist, how you approach in that?
Okay, so usually a lot of people have asked me this question, but the key is not how big or small the artist is what does the artist want. So when you understand the psyche of the artist and you understand what the message is, it becomes easier to reverse engineer. So what we do is we understand the art and then we create something unique based on the artist. Because it's very stereotypical. Here's the stage, here's the lights, here's confetti. But what we do with artists, if they say, we ask them, what do you want your audience to feel? And if they want their audience to be crying or feel emotional, that's where we come and we manipulate being in a positive way, through design psychology. So it doesn't matter how big or small the artist is, it's about giving people a feeling. How do you create core memories? Because unfortunately, or fortunately, we all live on our phones and we live on a screen. So how do you create something that gives people that moment to post? And that all works with, we will work with the artist to create that, no matter how big or small the infrastructure is.
So sorry, just you said that in case the demand doesn't, yeah. So that is where the whole thing lies, right? So what we do as a company and what everybody should do is create that demand.
Sorry, our time's up.
Sorry, just 1 second. So you need to create that demand very, very important for you to create it first before you do the show. People just tend to book an artist and expect them to sell the ticket sales. In this day and age, you can never be profitable. So you have to book an artist, create the demand. What are you offering with that artist? What unique things are you bringing? You can't just plug into an artist on the stage and say, okay, he'll sell me that X number of tickets. So once you do that pre-demand, you understand what kind of hype that will be created. So Rajat is next. So he made sure that Honey Singh came into AP, and that created the biggest viral movement ever in the Indian music industry. And then obviously people understood and he capitalized on it, created that demand for Honey Singh and saw the results. Obviously, it was one of the most successful shows. So that is my answer to it. Thank you guys. Thank you very much. And thank you, Shows of India.
Thank you, everyone.